This makes me want to burn this motherfucker down. Come on, Boogie, let's burn this motherfucker down! Come on! Boogie, let's burn this motherfucker down! Let's burn it! So,
Okay. So, I really didn't want to talk about this again, but you know, it's been brought up. Raw, I talked about this back in October, how the Raw ratings are going down, going real down, going down. And a lot of this is to blame to the booking of the show, the structure of the show. Raw sucks. Just to be honest, the wrestling known as the WWE sucks. It's garbage. It's just one of the worst things on TV right now. And usually WWE is ranked the second or the third. This week alone, they were ranked the fourth. The fourth. They have finally reached the fourth. And they're going to hit the fifth maybe sometime next year. This is not good. Because usually they're always ranked number 2 behind another show like a reality, Love and Hip Hop, which I don't know how they cannot beat that. If wrestling cannot beat a reality show, which wrestling has some reality base to it, then WWE needs to really rework it, but they don't care. Vince doesn't care. We got all these sponsors, and they all take care of us. The sponsors are only as good as the ratings you get. Like right now, USA is probably saying to itself, why the fuck are we paying all this money to them where we could pay for let's talk to NBA, we could get them, or let's talk to like UFC, maybe we could get them. And UFC sponsors are a hell of a lot more better than Raw sponsors, because Raw sponsors, they completely suck. And most of the time USA does not get the money for them compared to UFC. UFC, the deal where they have FX, I heard FX get majority of some of the sponsors' money compared to WWE. They get majority of all their money. So I don't know. Times about 2, it's just stupid anyway to have Raw. It's just, and they're like the sponsors. But here's the thing: Raw needs a TV deal because of the commercial. Because right now the network is a fail. I don't care what you say. Even though they have 1 million subscribers, it's a fail. They were supposed to have 1 million subscribers a year ago when it was launched. By this time, they should have had 2 million. But they're not going to get 2 million. As you can clearly see in the ratings, they can barely get 3 million on a TV network. And now they're going back to a 1 million viewership. They are hitting the TNA numbers, ladies and gentlemen. They are about to hit TNA numbers. Not good. Not good at all. And TNA is done. Pop TV was like, oh, we want the TNA to get the same numbers they did on Spike TV. Good luck with that. We'll talk about that video another day. That shit ain't going to happen. But right now, I mean, when you watch the product, it's boring, bland. You got Sheamus as world champion, a guy that looks as, and it's not even his fault. It's the way they book him. If you're going to get this guy the Money in the Bank match, the Money in the Bank, and you know you're going to put him as world champion, which they clearly they knew they were going to give the belt to him, which makes no fucking sense. They give the belt to him, but they couldn't give it to Damian Sandow, but they had Damian Sandow lose to John Cena. Really? And Damian Sandow was way more over than Sheamus. Really? Let's not even talk about that. They book him like he is a legit player. Not like a main event player, but a legit player that when he wins the title, I can believe that. When Edge won his first world title, he didn't lose all his matches. He was still winning here and there, but he won enough where I could say, you know what? I can see him as world champion when he wins it. Boom, won it. I say, you know what? You have deserved it. Rob Van Dam the same way. When he won the Intercontinental Championship, I said, okay, cool. He lost to the Shelton Benjamin final week, but I said, okay, cool. They still building him up. When he won at the ECW, I said, oh, cool. Boom. Edge did it again. CM Punk was another one. I believed it. Who else? Punk again did it the second time. Mr. Kennedy was one. They were booking him to the moon before he lost. I mean, the former Money in the Bank winners, it made more, were legit players that I can believe they could be main event players. That was the whole point. Make them players so they become main event players. Now it's make them jobbers, then main event. No, it doesn't work like that. You make them main event, you make them players so they can become main event players. That's how it always works. But they have this weird philosophy where they have to lose just to make the fans not know, where in reality you're hurting the superstar and you just making the fans seem like they don't care. And when Sheamus won that world title, no one gave two fucks. Then you get Roman Reigns, which clearly he needs to be a heel. This is it. I'm done. I am so done with the Roman Reigns character as a babyface. It's not funny. I'm done. I don't hate him as a wrestler. I don't hate him as a person. But he needs to be a heel. That promo they did was atrocious. One of the worst promos I have ever seen. If Sheamus and Roman were going to brawl, just let them brawl. Just let them fucking brawl. They don't need to talk to say, I'm going to kick your ass up. Just fight. The fuck? Like they were chickens and shit. Who came up with this shit? It was dumb. And Vince said okay to this? Really, Vince? Get the fuck out of here, man. That was the most saddest thing ever. And the worst thing about it is, all they had to do, the brawl was not bad, it's just, it was terrible. Just the promo itself, it dragged out for 15 minutes. You dragged out a brawl, well, excuse me, you dragged out a segment that was supposed to be a brawl for 15 minutes. And here's the thing, the brawl itself lasts 5 minutes, the segment with the promos lasts 15 minutes. You gotta be fucking kidding me. That's where Vince is out of touch. No more talking. Enough. Vince, enough. You need to sit your ass at home. You need to go home. Because this talking segment is bullshit. That's why none of these stars can get over. People don't want to see the talking. People don't want to see it. If they want to, that's fine. You build that up, you know, the first week or something. But you don't do it every other week. My God. If you're trying to sell the match, trying to sell people to watch TLC, then you have to do a better job of booking your fucking programs. Holy shit. Raw was terrible. And they deserve that rating. I am so glad when I saw that 2.15, I said, that's what you get. That's what you get, and that's what you deserve. They're in panic mode right now, ladies and gentlemen. They are in fucking panic mode, because this is the lowest their Raw numbers have been. And they're like, oh, we'll get the fans back. I do not see how you could get majority of them back. You're not going to get 4 million of them. No, you'll probably get 3 million. But you're not going to get your 4 million like you usually do. I think you lost some fans. I think WWE has reached the point of no return. This PC era they're trying to do, it ain't working. Wrestling should never be PC. You cannot do wrestling PC. It just does not work. Wrestling cannot be PC. It just can't. It's one thing. It's one thing to make it more kid friendly, but here's the thing: making it kid friendly and making it like Disney is two different things. The reason that Marvel works that way is because it's very comic booky. The reason that Lucha Underground is doing so fucking well, but the world they have built is very, very fictional based and very comic booky based. And it works. And fans dig it. They know what they are. WWE's trying to find out. They want to be, at times, edgy. They want to be kiddie. You can't be both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You have to choose one or the fucking other. If you can't choose none, then you will have a identity crisis to the point where fans be like, well, fuck this. They don't know what they want to do. Walking Dead knows what it is, and guess what? They get 14 million views because fans know what the fuck it is. Breaking Bad knows what the fuck it is. That's why they won all those awards, and that's why it's a critically acclaimed TV show. Game of Thrones know what it fucking is. That's why people still continue to watch it, because they know what the fucking is, and they know each season, one of these motherfuckers ain't gonna make it. So that's why those shows are successful. And they're very character driven. None of Raw, none of SmackDown, none of WWE shows are character driven. And if they are, they're so bland and boring and generic to the point where WWE just, the fans don't care. Vince Russo even talked about how right now WWE might have a crisis with USA because the networks are talking and they're telling them to go back edgy. And that's the problem. Because USA say this is their slogan: characters matter. WWE needs to look at that slogan and say, we might need to start caring about our characters. Build them up, give them layers. And here's what I mean: don't give them talking segment, Give them promos backstage. Have them do stuff outside of wrestling. See how fans interact with them. You know, because that's the problem. There's not enough backstage segments. There's not enough vignettes. Russo talked about this too, and he was right. There's not enough none of that. You have to make these characters mean something. If they're just generic wrestlers, then fans will be like, well, fuck it, they don't care. And he also made a good point. They cannot just be wrestlers. They have to be real life human beings so you can relate to. And you gotta be quite honest with you, you have to be. Especially in the world today, you have to make it more reality based so people can, you know, connect to these characters. Making Roman Reigns a sympathetic babyface or a whatever, it's not working because he doesn't look like a sympathetic guy. He doesn't act like a sympathetic guy. He looks like this guy has been handed everything. If a girl sees him, you know, a girl sees him, they just fall over heads for him. Where I can't relate to that because I've never had girls fall over heads for me like that. And he seemed like a guy that, you know, he'll get picked to be the most handsome, popular guy in school because of the way he looks, you know, and that's what I see. And not saying that's a bad thing, but he looks like a heel. I mean, he's the guy that they want, and then book him like the guy you want. Stop fighting the grain where you're like, oh, no, we'll keep him babyface because they'll eventually like him. No, turn him heel. Look at Cena, look at Batista, look at Randy Orton. They all went to that heel phase. And that's how they became superstars of, you know, the Ruthless Aggression era. If they never were heels and they were babyface, you think they would be over? No. They turned Randy babyface and it didn't really work well enough, so he went back heel and he worked better as a heel. He said it too. He's a better heel. Batista said it too. He sucks as a babyface. He was a better heel. Cena may not say it now, but I bet he said it then. I want to go back as a heel. People want to be healed because that's when they can shine and that's when they become themselves. Rock said itself. He said, give me 5 seconds and let me say what I need to say to these motherfuckers. Well, he didn't say it like that, but let me say what I need to say to these people. And that was it. The rest is history. And The Rock is the biggest movie star of today. They want to turn Roman Reigns to The Rock. Well, then turn him heel. It should have happened at Survivor Series. It's like you had the blueprint in your hands, but you just said, no, we don't want to do it. And you could have just followed The Rock. People were like, oh, they can do like they did with Mankind and The Rock. It'd be kind of awesome. People were excited, and there you go. And guess what? The rating after Survivor Series explains how fans were like, we're done, because we just gave up. You know, Vince does not know when to sit his ass down and say, okay, maybe we should have turned him heel. And he's probably saying this about now, oh, maybe we should have turned him heel. You think? He would have been over. People like to, you know, I'm already rambling for 12 minutes now, but you can tell how frustrated I am with the product because it's just little shit they do makes you say to yourself, why? It's just the little shit, it's the stuff they do that makes me as a fan just, you know, just look at it like, what the fuck? Raw used to be the shits for me, man. I used to love watching Raw. It was like a chore. Even though people like to say the Triple H terror, even though I was a fan of that, it was better than what we're getting now. I'd rather take the Triple H terror, the terror of tour, whatever they call it, than what we get now. At least it was entertaining. At least it was story driven, character driven. I mean, now it's not even none of that. We all knew Triple H was world champion, but at the end of the day, you know, it was going to young talent like Randy Orton and Batista, so they were building up for the future. Now they're not building up for nothing. Even back, I'll say 05, I'll say 04, 05, 06, even 07, even with the whole Benoit incident, Raw still had a must-see type of feel. I wouldn't say must-see TV, but a must-see type of feel. A little 08 too. 09, that's when Raw started to go down. For a lot of people, I think, myself included, but still had a must-see feel because you didn't know what was going to happen. It was around, I think, 2012. Once Raw was 3 hours, I think the must-see feel just disappeared. I think that's when it was like, we're done. I think a lot of fans kind of went away, especially when Raw went 3 hours. I think it was just too much. It was too much for me. I couldn't watch it no more, and I just decided not to watch it. But, I mean, it was still exciting to watch Raw. SmackDown, too. It's just sad to see what has it become. This product used to be so good, building up stars, making them main event players, and this now they want to rely on the Takers, the Rocks, the Brocks, the Kangs, the goddamn Big Shows, the fucking Batistas, and no disrespect to all of them guys, they're all talented as hell and I love them all. But we need to build for the future, because at the moment now, they are draws. I mean, you could put their name on a marquee, they'll draw. But Cesaro won't draw. Owens won't draw. Sami Zayn won't draw unless you build them up. Roman Reigns won't even draw too unless you build them up. I was reading the tours and stuff. They're drawing 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. That's the highest fan base they're drawing. 7,000. They're not drawing enough people no more. And it's sad. It's like, what's going on here? Is wrestling dying? Wrestling dying a slow death. And they got all this other stuff they're into, like the sponsors. Other stuff. But anyway, guys, that's my little rate on it. I was just gonna wrap this up because I'm going 16 minutes. I'm rambling. Here's my thoughts. Raw needs to do better. Raw needs to do better shows. You're probably wondering how I watch Raw. Not live. I said I stopped watching Raw live. I watched it through the YouTube clips, and I watch it through sometimes online. Mostly through YouTube. Because through YouTube, I can see what they do. They try to edit it down and try to cut it down to enough where it try to please me. But no, I just watching some of this stuff makes me see like I'm not missing anything. And I still stay up with Raw. I still do because there's a part of me that wants it to be good. But I'm not coming here to review it every week because I can't. I just cannot review a show that is trash and then give you a trash review. I'd rather review something that I thought was good. I'd rather review something that I thought is worth your time, because at the end of the day, I have the passion to give you a good review, a decent review, or a review enough where it makes you say, okay, I'll check it out. Where if I give you a review like this right now, I'm ranting. This is me going on a rant. Most of my rants do well, and get views, but I mean, I'm not gonna constantly do it because just to get views. But I'm doing this because I'm telling you, I don't think wrestling will ever be good again. I mean, in the mainstream eye, I think the whole Benoit incident really was the nail in the coffin for the wrestling business. And it's not like, oh, it killed the business. No. It was a nail in the coffin. It's been getting buried over years and years thanks to the WWE with their PC bullshit, and just how wrestling are not selling no more. People are not drawing like they used to, and that's pretty much what I'm talking about. But anyway, guys, I'm kind of done. I'll just wrap this up. As always, like, subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys think. Talk to you later. And God, we're 18 minutes rambling. Peace.